All right, everyone, welcome back. Seriously, it's awesome to have you tuning in today. Before we dive into something truly mind-bending happening inside you right this second, I just want to take a quick moment to send out some massive good vibes. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I genuinely hope you're feeling fantastic and full of energy. Health is everything, so here's wishing you and your loved ones tons of strength, happiness, and wellness today and always. Take care of yourselves. Now, get ready to have your mind completely blown by a fact about your own body that sounds absolutely impossible. We're talking about the blueprint of you, your DNA. You know, that incredible molecule that holds all the instructions for making you. Well, you. Your eye color, your height, how your body fights off a cold, everything. Here's the jaw dropper. If you could carefully take all the DNA out of just one single cell in your body and stretch it out completely straight, it would be about 2 meters long. Yeah, you heard that right. 2 whole meters. From just one microscopic cell. Think about that for a second. That tiny, tiny dot of a cell, way smaller than a grain of sand, holds a molecule inside it that, if unraveled, would be taller than most people. How is that even possible? It sounds like magic, but it's pure, incredible biology, and understanding how reveals just how ingeniously packed and organized life is at the tiniest level. First off, let's get a sense of scale because this is where it gets really wild. Imagine a typical human cell. Picture something incredibly small, maybe like a tiny, tiny water balloon. Now, inside that cell, there's a central part called the nucleus. Think of the nucleus as the cell's command center, its brain. And inside that nucleus is where you find the DNA. Now, if you were to somehow reach in with impossibly tiny tweezers, grab one end of that DNA molecule, and just start pulling it out, gently straightening it like a piece of microscopic thread, you'd keep pulling and pulling and pulling, until you had a strand stretching about 6.5 feet or roughly 2 meters. That's longer than a baseball bat. It's longer than most guitars. It's taller than many adults, all crammed into a space that's almost unimaginably small. To put it another way, it's like taking 300 million tiny building blocks. We call these building blocks base pairs, each one incredibly small, and stringing them together in a precise order into one unbelievably long, thin chain. That's your DNA in one cell. So, the million-dollar question is, how on earth does something so incredibly long fit inside something so incredibly small? It's not just stuffed in there like a jumbled ball of yarn, although that would be impressive enough. No, it's packed with mind-blowing precision and efficiency, like the most organized storage system you could possibly imagine. Think about packing for a long trip. If you just threw all your clothes into the suitcase in a big heap, it wouldn't fit and everything would get wrinkled and messy. But if you fold everything neatly, roll things up tightly, and organize it just right, you can fit way more into the same space. Your DNA does something like that, but on a level of sophistication that makes expert packers look like amateurs. It's a masterpiece of biological origami. The secret lies in special proteins called histones. Imagine these histones as tiny molecular spools or bobbins. Your super long DNA strand doesn't just float around loose. Instead, it winds itself around these histone spools over and over again. Picture thread neatly wrapped around a sewing bobbin. Each bobbin of DNA wrapped around a group of histones is called a nucleosome. It's like a little bead on a string. This wrapping alone compacts the DNA significantly. But it doesn't stop there. This string of beads, the nucleosomes, doesn't just hang out loosely. It coils up even further into a thicker fiber. Think of coiling a rope. Then, that coiled fiber loops and folds back on itself in specific ways, attaching to a kind of cellular scaffold inside the nucleus. It's like taking that coiled rope and then carefully looping and tying it into organized bundles. These bundles then fold and compact even more, getting denser and denser until finally, during certain times in the cell's life, especially when the cell is about to divide, they become the familiar X-shaped structures we call chromosomes, the supercondensed, easy-to-move packages of DNA. So, from a long, floppy string, to beads on a string, to a coiled rope, to organized loops and bundles, and finally to dense chromosomes, That's the incredible journey of packing that 2-meter strand into the nucleus. Why does this matter so much? Well, packing isn't just about saving space. This intricate organization is absolutely crucial for life itself. Firstly, it protects the DNA. Imagine that long, delicate strand floating loose inside the busy cell. It would be like having a priceless, fragile necklace tossed into a toolbox. It would get tangled, damaged, and broken incredibly easily by all the molecules and machinery moving around constantly. The tight packing shields the vital genetic information. Secondly, and perhaps even more importantly, this packing system allows the cell to control which parts of the DNA are read and used at any given time. Think of your DNA as a massive instruction manual for building and running a human. The cell doesn't need to read every single page of that manual all at once. At any moment, a muscle cell needs different instructions than a skin cell or a brain cell. The way the DNA is packed, how tightly certain sections are wound up or how loosely others are coiled, determines which genes are accessible. Loosely packed areas are like open books. The cell's machinery can easily get to those genes and read the instructions to make the proteins the cell needs right then. Tightly packed areas are like closed chapters. The instructions are hidden away and not used. This precise control, enabled by the packing, is what allows a single set of DNA instructions in every cell to create all the different cell types and functions in your body. Now, let's try to grasp the sheer scale of this packing feat. Imagine your DNA strand as a very, very long piece of thin thread, like sewing thread, stretching 2 meters. The nucleus it needs to fit into is microscopic. To find something in our everyday world that represents a similar level of compaction, think about stuffing all the thread from 10 entire spools of sewing thread into a single grain of rice. That's the kind of insane packing density we're talking about inside your cells. Or imagine taking the entire string of lights that decorates a huge Christmas tree, hundreds of feet long, and packing it perfectly into a tennis ball. That's the level of biological engineering happening inside you right now. Every time you look at your hand, remember, each tiny cell you see, and trillions you don't, contains a 2-meter molecular instruction manual folded with impossible neatness. This packing and unpacking isn't static either. It's a dynamic, ongoing process. When a cell needs to divide to make new cells, like when you heal a cut or grow, that densely packed DNA in the chromosomes needs to be perfectly copied. Before copying can happen, the chromosomes have to partially unpack so the copying machinery can access the DNA sequence. After copying, the new DNA strands get repacked into new chromosomes for the daughter cells. And even when a cell isn't dividing, parts of the DNA are constantly being accessed and read to make proteins. Genes are being turned on and off, which means specific sections are being temporarily unpacked and then repacked. It's like a super efficient library where the books are constantly being checked out, read, and carefully reshelved, all within a space the size of a pinhead. This dynamic nature highlights just how active and vital this DNA packing system is for every single function in your body. Understanding this, that your DNA is unimaginably long yet packed with breathtaking efficiency, should fill you with awe. It's a fundamental wonder of biology, a testament to the incredible complexity and elegance of life. That tiny nucleus in each of your cells holds not just the instructions for building you, but holds them in a way that's both protected and readily accessible where needed. It's the ultimate space-saving, information-organizing system, perfected over billions of years of evolution. Every breath you take, every thought you have, every beat of your heart relies on this meticulously packed genetic code being read correctly in trillions of cells simultaneously. It's the core of your biological existence, folded up neatly inside you. So, the next time you look in the mirror, remember the incredible hidden reality. Inside every single one of those cells staring back at you lies a molecule, stretched out, longer than you are tall. It's the story of you, written in a microscopic script, folded with genius precision. It's a reminder of the profound complexity and beauty packed into every corner of our being. Take good care of the amazing vessel that carries this marvel. Nourish it well, move it, rest it, and protect it. Because that incredible packing feat, That 2 meter secret inside every cell is what allows you to be here, experiencing this amazing life. Stay curious, stay healthy, and thanks for exploring this tiny universe within you today.